sick, so they quarantine her. Now she's out of the hospital. Obama orders her released. Now the Maine governor is seeking to make nurse abide by quarantine, stay in her house. Bloomberg's reporting. The neighbors are freaking out. The locals are. I think people are so scared because the flu might kill 1/10 of 1%. And so we know if we get it, it's a very low chance. Ebola kills 70%. I think that's why it's so scary that if it starts spreading in the winter months, why was there a default, George, to stop people flying in before, to quarantine before, to not bring Ebola patients in before? Why has it all changed? Why do people not have any confidence in the system? Why do they say you can't get it on a bus or a train, but scientists say you can? Why are they lying so much?
Are they lying or are they idiots? Or maybe a combination of both.
Sure.
It just seems that everything they try to do, they screw up. I mean, if you had people like this in your company, Alex, or in Coast to Coast, we would have fired them a long time ago. I mean, you just can't have that kind of incompetence. And that's what we've got right now. We've got common sense tells you you've got a disease that spreads like crazy when you get any kind of solutions or body fluids or anything on you. And like you said, it could be airborne. Who the heck knows? You got to be careful, and they're not. They're being very, very foolish with it. Letting so many people in who have this disease is ridiculous, and we have just touched the tip of the iceberg of what's going to happen with Ebola. I mean, you get these isolated cases. That's not a lot, but it's going to grow. It's going to fester. It's not over by a long shot.
So you think it's overall real? I tend to agree with you. Something's creepy here, though. George Noory, pulling back then, obviously, if on average Ebola spreads for each person that has it to 2 other people, you've got the guy that died in Dallas, and you've got this doctor and this nurse and then others, all these other Ebola patients that are being brought in, more than 25 of them that are aid workers. Now they're going to bring in foreign aid workers that have it, and they're saying it's no big deal when before they wear spacesuits. And, I mean, you've got all this happening. If 2 nurses got it from one guy following the average, then you've got to expect with this medical doctor that was in the infectious stage at bowling alleys and restaurants and on the subway that it's had to have spread. So either it's fake or it's going to spread. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be some pandemic and we're going to see hundreds of thousands get sick and die, but clearly it's one or the other. George, what do you think?
Well, I don't think it's fake. I think it's real. It's happening, and it could get out of control, and that's the bottom line. It could get out of control.
What does your gut tell you? Are we going to see more cases?
No, there's no question about it. Are we going to see widespread cases? I don't know yet. I can't speculate on that, but we're going to see more cases.
What do you think about the disappearance that I've confirmed with medical doctors on and off record of people, these federal teams come and grab them?
And they're probably quarantining them or testing them or grabbing blood from them in case they get cured. They use it as a serum. Who knows? But it's a very...
Why not tell the public? Why not say, if we think you have Ebola, we're going to put you in quarantine? The public would support that.
I think they would. But I think they think it's easier just to grab people and take them away.
To set the precedent to secretly grab whoever they want in the future.
We are going to come and take you.
I tell you, and then that only destroys confidence more, causes all the rumors. It is really out of control. Kit Daniels, one of our InfoWars News writers and special reporters, is here. And Kit, you notice something very easy to freak out about here. Hiding in plain view. I want to get George Noory's take on this. Again, George Noory of CoastToCoastAM.com, one of the top syndicated hosts in the world, joining us right now. Kit, just a few weeks ago, the CDC had one flyer out on Ebola. Now their new flyer says something pretty scary on it. We're going to show folks a document cam shot of this if they're TV viewers. Kit, describe for radio listeners what we're looking at here.
Well, the document on the left is from the CDC on October 16th. It's about the transmission of Ebola. It says nothing about droplet spread of Ebola. But now the CDC released another flyer on the right on Monday, the 27th, which does admit that, yes, Ebola can spread through droplets in the air.
Now, we were attacked by, no exaggeration, hundreds of publications 2.5 months ago for saying this. We were just linking to the CDC's internal documents that were public but not really widely circulated, saying this too. So why do you think they're now, Kit, coming out and quietly admitting this?
Because now even the mainstream media is forced to admit that, yes, Ebola can spread through droplets in the air. So now they're just slowly admitting, trying not to bring too much attention to themselves by quietly releasing this document, this new revelation.
Well, this is what concerns me, is that it doesn't die right away in cold weather and spreads according to the Army. I know you have links to that in your article. Thank you, Kit Daniels. George, what's your take on this latest CDC fact flyer?
Again, it shows the incompetence of what's happening out there, Alec. Look, you're not a doctor. I'm not a doctor, but we could have told people years ago that Ebola or any disease is transmittable in droplets or any kind of fluids or any potential. If you come up to someone and they sneeze on you and somehow that gets into your system, you're going to get part of the virus. Now, will your body fight it off? Perhaps. Look, we all have cancer cells in our system, but it's our immune system that's keeping it in check in most cases. But there are some people that don't have strong immune systems, and they come down with cancer. It's the same thing with this Ebola situation, except it's tougher. It's tougher to fight off. And, it just shows me once again the incompetence. How could they on one hand say it's not possible, and then weeks later they come out and say, well, maybe it is?
Well, we eat GMO corn like BT that is in major studies on record to kill the honeybees that eat it, and it's linked to kids having, these leaky guts. And then we wonder why our immune systems are shutting down. It's because they're bombarded. They're overwhelmed. We are in this toxic environment. I want to expand, George, before we get into some other topics in the time we have left with you, to talk about BeyondBelief.com and your hit TV show that I'm finally going to be able to come out to Denver and tape soon, hopefully. I want to talk about that show because it's getting really popular. I saw the numbers on it. And I want to talk also about some of these big events you're putting on that you've invited me to physically attend next year, but attend via Skype coming up. I really look forward to those. Tell people about your events.
Well, in terms of the events, we've got a lot coming up. You can always track where I'm going to be by going to coasttocoastam.com, and at the bottom of the page, it says calendar. You click that, and it shows where I'm going to be. But on November 8th in Toronto, Alex, and you're going to join us via Skype, and you've got a huge Toronto following, by the way. I'm going to be up there with a woman who used to date Lee Harvey Oswald. She's
wow.
going to be one of my guests. You're going to be there on Skype. Giorgio Tsoukalos from Ancient Aliens will be there. Peter Davenport, who heads up the National UFO Reporting Center. And then rock historian R. Gary Patterson is joining me. He's going to talk about why so many great rock musicians died at the age of 27. And in addition, I do kind of sing on the side. So we've got a full group there that's going to play while I sing 4 songs throughout the night. And full information on that is at GeorgeNooryLive.com if you live in the Toronto, Buffalo area, or if you just want a trip to Toronto, come on out and see me November 8th.
And by the way, I've seen you via internet getting to stay on Skype the whole time and watch it. And I've been to William Shatner's variety show, and yours is 1,000 times better. Even though his was okay, it was cool to see William Shatner. The variety show you do, you're bringing up serious topics, interesting things. You're a pretty good singer, George. I really look forward to next year when I'm going to physically come to some of your events. Very, very exciting. Again, give folks that website one more time, because I know it sells out every single time, no matter where you go. So the venues get bigger and bigger. Give folks the website one more time so they can go get tickets.
That's GeorgeNooryLive.com, and of course it's Noory, GeorgeNooryLive.com for our November 8th event in Toronto. And maybe next year, Alex, while I sing, I'll have you dance with somebody in the crowd.
Well, with my torn Achilles, I'm not a very good dancer. The secret is I'm not a good dancer unless I've had a bottle of wine. But then
Did you ever hear Shatner talk about his play, his one-person play that he was in? And he said he's on stage, and all of a sudden he gets hit with the worst stomach ache of his life. He had to excuse himself. Keep in mind, he's on stage. He's the only person. He had to excuse himself, go to the restroom, where he was there for about 15 minutes, and then he came back.
Sure. It's a dinner theater. In fact, those are some of the great stories when he was here last year, and I went and saw him that he told, and it was very interesting. Boy, that's a guy that's got a lot of energy. In fact, I don't want to say yours is 1,000 times better, because his was pretty good. I'm just saying it was much, much better watching it on Skype than seeing Shatner in person, which I liked. So that's what I'm saying. It really is a good show, folks. So check that out. Now, George, we've only got one more segment left, and you always let me come on your show, and you've got a few questions, but you let me kind of go in any direction I want. What are you most happy about in the world right now, and what are you most concerned about in the world right now?
I'm concerned primarily about, again, the complete lack of understanding and respect for human beings.
Yes.
By government. They just don't seem to care. What I'm happy about is that people are onto them and that we understand them. And by doing so, we're going to continue to fight back. Not necessarily, and I do not advocate violence by any means, but we're going to fight back at the election booth. We're going to fight back on talk shows. We're going to fight back in any way we can to keep them from trying to win. And I think, again, in the long run, we're going to win.
Well, that's right. Dinosaur media is dying everywhere because it just can't get its mind around ever questioning or being critical. And I just can't imagine what the system's going to do, because pride goes before a fall. Every indicator shows that the establishment is in deep trouble. And it just shows so much arrogance. I think it may be a confidence game, and they're not actually as arrogant as they act. But, George, I think you're right, though, in the final equation. Respect for human life, respect for each other, believing in humanity, believing in our greater angels, believing we can do better things. That's what builds civilization in the future. But this globalist eugenicist view of we're all crud and humans are a disease and all this, that's what's going to bring in a total nightmare. Final segment straight ahead with George Noory. We'll talk more about some of the things happening in the election. His prediction, will the Republicans take the House? Well, they already have the House, more seats in the House. Will they take the Senate, which the Democrats have right now, and more. His site, coasttocoastam.com. I'm Alex Jones with Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.tv.
Are you happy doing your laundry with perfume detergents that irritate your skin? Are you happy washing your hands with stinking fragrances that gives your skin rashes? Are you happy paying new, higher prices for smaller boxes? Find your happiness today with our 1 to 4 year supply of pure soaps, or our 1 to 2 month sampler with bar soap, shampoo, laundry, and dish soap at 5starsoap.com. You deserve the best. Happiness is 5starsoap.com.
This is Dan Pilla. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX, or my website, danpilla.com.
The experts are clear. Sunlight, purified water, healthy non-GMO food, and having a good attitude is essential to a healthy immune system. But I go further with Super Nascent Iodine X2 from InfoWarsLife.com. 50% stronger than our original and revolutionary Nascent Iodine formula, coming from a deep earth crystal source that no other supplier has. Most other forms of iodine come from seaweed in areas plagued by Fukushima and other contaminants. Not our iodine. It comes from over 200-million-year-old crystal salt deposits and is tested and proven to be completely pure. Visit InfoWarsLife.com today. See the informational videos. Read the information they're compiled. And for a limited time, when you use promo code NOW at checkout, you get an additional 5% off the entire family of InfoWarsLife.com products. Secure your Survival Shield X2 today at InfoWarsLife.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139.
The lining of your lungs is supposed to be protected with glutathione to neutralize incoming irritants. In the absence of enough glutathione, your lungs are more prone to irritation. Listen to the real-world results of one man using a powerful glutathione-supporting food.
Hi, my name is Bill O'Brien. I generally suffer through an asthmatic breathing type situation. My breathing is shallow and generally constricted in the nose and lungs. After consuming One World Away today, I have tremendous energy and also notice my breathing is free. I can feel the air in my left nostril, and it is free all the way to my abdomen, which is pretty remarkable because I rarely get that feeling. Being a singer, I love feeling this unrestricted voice. The only thing new I've actually added to my routine is